He keeps kicking me in the dick. Why? Why does he keep kicking me in the dick?
If you wanna run away with me, I know a galaxy and I can take you for a ride. I had a premonition that we fell into a rhythm where the music don't stop for life. Glitter in the sky, glitter in my eyes, shining just the way you lie. If you're feeling like you need a little bit of company, you met me at the perfect time. You want me, I want you, baby. My sugar boo, I'm levitating. The Milky Way, we're renegading. I got you, moonlight, you're my starlight. I need you all night. Come on, dance with me. I'm levitating. You, moonlight, you're my starlight. I need you all night. Come on, dance with me. I'm levitating.
There we go. Apparently, Streamlabs decided that it was going to update. And whenever it updates, it always kicks off my microphone. How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the Last Vox. My name is Matt, and I want to, well, as I said, welcome you to the last bastion of sanity for this portion of the internet. So I want you to go ahead, grab your favorite beverage, be it booze, soda, juice, tea, coffee, whatever it is. Sit back, relax, and understand that you are, without a doubt, the most intelligent person on the planet compared to the people we talk about on this show. So it's been a while since I've done Last Vox. That's fine. I've got a couple of things saved up for you guys. That's going to be fun. And I have started a poll in the chat for you guys. If you want to vote on it, you can. It is, what do you want to read for the next cringe book club? Now, I'm not talking about the very next one. I'm not talking about after we finish The Silver Eyes. I'm talking about stuff that is in between to break up the monotony of the spooky story. So we have, and I quote, Sonic High School. Now, I'm going to give you guys a little synopsis of both of these so you can judge. I see most of you guys are voting for Sonic already, but I'm going to leave this poll up for most of the stream for people to come in when they come in and out, and they can vote on it. The second one is Blood Raining Night. Now, there is a caveat for these. These are not just being given away for free. Ishtar, Wren, and anybody who joins me for these are going to need a little bit of compensation, folks. So each one of these stories is going to cost $150. 150 big ones. And for that, I'm actually going to change my donation goal. I know, I do it so rarely that this is a big deal. So we're gonna end this. I'm doing it live. We're not going to have a huge end date here. Let's see. We'll do it. Oop. I can type, I swear, guys. There. Well, if no one wants the stories, then we don't read them, Ishtar, and you get to continue having the Silver Eyes. So it's good for everybody. All right, we have changed the goal. $150. Yes, the donation goal was at one point help me move to Washington. There's a hot redhead I want to ask out. All right. So, before we get into all of this is going to be my beginning thing. I'm going to let you guys know I have a guest coming on today. We're going to be talking about what's in the title, because I know that's probably why a lot of you have shown up, aside from just wanting to hear me ramble. I don't have much to talk about in the way of my normal stuff, but I do have some things to say. So let me do these two synopses real quick so you guys get a handle on what is what. And give me just a second here, I'll bring them both up. All right. Here is the synopsis for Sonic High School. I know you guys are so eager to hear this. Sonic High School features Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, Amy, Rogue, Espio, and more in crazy high school drama, passionate romances, and crazy cliffhanger endings. It is known as the most addictive story online, and it is the ultimate Sonic story about high school. The story contains no graphic depictions, and all the high school students are 18 years old. I don't know. We'll have to see about the graphic depictions, but just to let you guys know, there are 25 chapters of Sonic High School. Oh, boy. Okay. And then for the second one, the synopsis is, I'm going to screw this name up. Forgive me. I don't speak the language. Richiro Ketsukaneko Oni. That's all one word. That's Ketsukaneko Oni is the last name. Is a 17-year-old cat demon who is tortured by the memory of her father. She works for the Yakuza with her dog, cat, demon friend, Inuyasha. She loves Denmark, but her love is put into peril. Will she save her relationship and destroy her father? Find out. Oh boy. Blood Raining Night. If you want to hear us screw up names constantly, that's the one for you. Has 30 chapters. So, those are the two stories that you guys are going to be voting on. Those are the two stories that you guys are going to help be a part of. I know you guys are so super excited for that. I know Ishtar is super excited for that. She definitely wants to read Sonic High School. But before we get too far into that, let's say hello to the wonderful people who are in chat who are here for the show. We have Haster, who got first, says hey all. Steve Fernandez got second. I believe that's his first time getting the silver. Ishtar is lurking and got third. Now, I don't know if anybody showed up before that. This is just what I have on my screen, so if anybody showed up before that, I'm sorry. Ray is here, who got our honorable mention. He says, historians will be able to use stats on the kind of shit uploaded to YouTube month to month to develop an understanding of popular culture. It won't be an understanding of popular culture, it'll be a destruction of popular culture. Let's see. Who else is here? Sparky's Tech Corner 2.0 is here. How's it going, Sparky? And then I think that's everybody right now. Oh, I see Zeo Gold. I am not wearing a turtleneck. Matt does not wear turtlenecks. I don't like things like clinging up here. It's really weird. Ishtar does want to correct Ray, and what he said is we were both taken at the time. Thank you very much. And that she only went slutty after she was divorced. And I happened to pick her up after that, so I'm okay with that. And then Zeo Gold says, press X if you think that Blood Raining Night was made by a neckbeard. I don't know about neckbeard. Weeaboo, definitely. So, okay. It's been a while since I've done the Last Vox. Some things have happened. Some things have come to light, and I did make a video about it, and that was about what's been going on with me medically. Still things are going on. I have started some new medication that seems to be working, which means I'm able to go to work more and not be just sidetracked by everything, which is great. And I can't say that I am surprised that I've had some detractors who did not like the fact that I shared my plight, but I don't really give a fuck about them. So I am going to be trying to start the HFTG Archives Season 2 next week, so be on the lookout for that. And, well, we got MSNBC, Cringe Book Club, and all the other fun stuff you guys are here for. So, those are all the things that I'm going over before we get to the fun stuff that I found for you guys today, but I gotta get on my handy-dandy headphones, and we gotta get into this. You guys ready? Because I don't think you are. So, as before, we're going to go over some cringe stuff. The Entitled of Twitter and TikTok, which I still need to create its own scene for, so I can just kind of switch over for it. But let's go ahead and... what do we want to start with? Oh! Alright, are you guys religious? I know I'm agnostic. wouldn't call myself religious. But did you know that Jesus was non-binary? How's it going, Twisted? So this is, I don't know who this is for. I can't see the name. We'll see it at the end of it. But where's your, the question being asked to that is, where's your proof that Jesus is non-binary? Also, if Jesus was non-binary, why did he create male and female only? Zeogold says, hashtag find Antoine. He was spotted at a football game, Lions versus the Bears to be exact. What? I didn't know he liked football. That's messed up. I wanted to go to a game. Why doesn't he invite me to these things?
This is an easy one. If you espouse to the idea that Jesus was born of a virgin birth, then Jesus could not have had male chromosomes. Therefore, Jesus had only female chromosomes and presented as masculine. So, Jesus was non-binary.
No. That means he presented as masculine. Going by your own logic, that means he presents himself as a male. So even going through the whole ridiculousness of the virgin birth, if you believe that, that's fine. But let's say there was a virgin birth. That still means that a male, that child who became Jesus needed to have male and female chromosomes. Okay, this is not a comic book. So if he was female and told you that he was male, that means he was male. He identifies as one of the binary. I'm sorry, that's how your own rules work.
And in terms of male and female, and the Hebrew, the word that was used for and describes a spectrum. Male and female and everything in between. Man and woman is a biological concept. Science currently identifies 13 combinations and permutations of XY chromosomes.
Yes, and out of the original 2, male and female, those other 11 are sexual deviations and their aberrations, as well as abnormalities. They are not the norm. Okay? Some of those 11 are actually very serious diseases. And most of the people that have those different aberrations of XY chromosome identify as what they have as the majority of their sexual characteristics. I understand that you don't want to have, that you want to try and do this. I understand that you want to try and bring in the Christian folk. You're not going to.
Masculine and feminine is a sociological construct that is dependent upon the society with which you are talking about.
Yes, and they were talking about male and female. That's it. Not the permutations of 13 different types of chromosomes, because they didn't know about those. So all of your gobbledygook that you're trying to act smug for really doesn't work. So I'm sorry, spiritually enble, whatever the fuck your name is. That's not how you think that works. Ray is giving us a... Ray says, so the guy who self-identified as Son of God and had an epic beard is not male. No, because this person believes that he's not male. And then also says that voice doesn't belong to that body. I agree with you. And Ray is kind of going off, so I'm just going to read all of this all at once. A virgin birth is biologically possible. It has not been documented scientifically in humans, but it is possible. There are 2 permutations, XX and XY, and sexual characteristics are found on all chromosome pairs, not just XXXY pair. And Sparky says, who gets a tattoo like that? Did I can't say he, because I don't know what they identify as. So I'm not going to ruin that. I'm not going to go into that. It possibly lost a bet. And Ray says the Hebrews didn't have more than male and female. The Romans had eunuchs, but they were still male, albeit diminished. NCO Gold wants to add, this nut job might be the first person the Lord backhands in a long time. Alright, guys. So this next one's a bit of a long one. And I want to warn you, it has some uncomfortable things that we're going to be talking about. And it's at a school meeting. Now, I don't know if you guys know what's going on with all of these school board meetings about things that are being taught in schools to our children. There's a ton of parents that are against CRT being taught in schools, and I have something for that. And I have something for that we're going to be watching that's talking about how teachers are going to sneakily start teaching CRT yet again, because apparently they believe it's their idea or their jobs to indoctrinate your children. But there's also a big thing going on where there is curriculum that is being taught that is in overt sexual in nature. And some of these board meetings, some of these school boards are actually shutting down school board meetings when the parents have something to say. There is also, I believe I heard that there was a school board that went to the FBI to stop the parents from asking questions. When you're going to the police, when you're going to the FBI to stop parents from intervening in what you're teaching their children, it's time for you to step down. Now, I remember there is a mayor, I don't remember what school board it was, but there was a mayor that brought the entire school board in, sat them down and said, you either resign now or I press charges. Because the school board prides themselves on knowing what's in the school's curriculum and what they're being taught in schools. It is passed through, it is approved. And this mayor found that they were teaching about blowjobs and things to underage kids. Now, one of the things that they're going to do is they like to manipulate this, and it's because it's the act is for a young gay child, that it's homophobic. You don't want to teach about this gay thing that happens, instead of, no, we don't want 10-year-olds learning that it's okay to give a blowjob to an adult. So the school board was told by this mayor that I've already contacted lawyers, I've already contacted police, knowing what I need to know on how to charge you if you all don't step down. We need more of that in our schools in dealing with this stuff. Sparky, I feel the same way, man. If I had control over how my daughter went to school, I would definitely be homeschooling her. So, Steve says, heretics like the school board deserves to be put on a cross. Yeesh. In Minecraft, Susan. Defensively. So, here we go. I know you can't see the caption up top. It says, pedophilia in Texas schools. And then graphic language from this mom. I'm going to turn it up so you guys can hear.
I'm going to explain to you the book that he received, but Mr. McKay, I pray you are a man of your word. Last week I asked my children if I could check the books that they picked up from the school. My son picked up this brand new book from the shelves in class, Long Boy. He was under the impression it was about a kid that ends up at the beginning mowing the grass at Disneyland. I'd like to share a few quotes with you. This first one, just turn around. On page 19, not that it really matters in 4th grade, at a church youth group meeting out in the bushes, I touched Doug Gobel's dick and he touched mine. In fact, there was even some mouths involved. Next one, page 91.
This is a book that is being given to 4th graders. 4th graders. How's it going, Tyro? This is not something that you do. This is not something that needs to be taught to kids. And the verbiage for 4th graders. He touched my dick and I touched his dick and he touched mine, and there were mouths involved. this is a book that is being given to fourth graders.
What if I told you I touched another guy's dick? What if I told you I sucked it? I was 10 years old, but it's true. I put Doug Goebel's dick in my mouth. I was in 4th grade. It was no big deal. He sucked mine too. And you know what? It wasn't terrible.
Tyra says, oh, this one is actually not a woke issue. There are 2 books with the same name, different authors, and different reading levels. They meant to order the elementary school Lawn Boy and ended up with the adult Lawn Boy. The problem is still, regardless of that, the problem is still that they approved it to go into the classrooms, into the school library. This is a board. Everything they always say is, we, know everything that is going on in our schools. So they kind of approved that. There's a 4th grade appropriate Lawn Boy. They got the wrong one. An oopsie. An oopsie that possibly could cost them their jobs.
Page 174. I don't know if I signed for this one. Yeah, I did. He talked about old times at the church, but never mentioned our penises or the fact that he never said 10 words to me after our little foray in the bushes. Not a single reference to holding or tugging or sucking dicks.
How's it going, John? John, do you have a bad habit of showing up at the weirdest times? Ray says, when I was in the 1st grade, 1987, the teacher read us a story about predators, but it was done in a metaphor of a squirrel having their soft tail fur being taken away. Right now, we're kind of shitting on schools, I guess you could say. Yeah, they didn't proofread it.
All I could think about while he was chatting me up was his little salamander between my 4th grade fingers, rapidly engorging with blood. Page 230, I didn't make time for this. Why won't you admit we sucked each other's dicks? We shared a Hershey's bar, then you showed me your dick. The next thing I know, it's in my mouth. We sucked each other's dick, and you're pretending it didn't happen. What sort of diversity are you intending to teach my child with material like this? In addition, I'll share with you the exceptional quality of vocabulary. I stopped counting on page 66.
They want them out.
44 bucks and 41 shits. The depravity of the content on the shelves in our schools cannot be mitigated with policy EA. At this point, I need you to note that according to policy FFH, this one please, local sexual harassment is defined as unwanted sexual advances, sexually motivated verbal, non-verbal conduct, or other conduct or communication of a sexual nature when the conduct is so severe, persistent, or pervasive that it affects the student's ability to participate in or...
That mom was not happy. And I wouldn't be happy either. Not with... Look, I have an issue with them not knowing that they got the wrong book. Because that means they just ordered it. They didn't look to make sure that they ordered the right one. And then put these out on the shelves for kids to read. So that's an issue for me. But, okay, it was an oopsie. It's going to cost some people their jobs. That kind of oopsie. But we have more about schools. Here, we'll go into that, and then I have some fun ones for you guys. Okay, so this teacher explains how she brings politics and CRT into the classroom, which, you're not supposed to have your, you're not supposed to be teaching kids this stuff. Young adults, sure. The ones that take political economic classes, sure. Statistic classes, sure. Sociology, perfect. This is the stuff that you teach those kids. And when I say kids, I mean younger than me, because most of the people who are getting into sociology are definitely not, under the grade of 8. Let alone, I'm sure sociology just doesn't start being a thing until they're at least in 11th grade. Ray says, when I worked in an after-school program, they bought a book called A Bundle of Sticks, and when one of my coworkers read it, he kind of emphasized the F word in the book. Yeesh, don't do that. The leftists in schools are making real easy for Bible thumpers to say, "We told you so." You're not wrong, Zeo Gold. And John says she looks like she's from the Doodle Bops. I don't know what the Doodle Bops is. I think I'm a little too old for that. How's it going, Dark? You missed a school board who bought the wrong book, and well, it may cost them their jobs. But right now, we are dealing with a teacher who is bringing CRT and political activism into her class.
So this comment was put on a video that had absolutely nothing to do with politics, but let's dive in because teaching is political. The education system,
No, teaching is not political. At least for kids, it's not political. Because kids don't understand the concepts that you're trying to teach them. What you're doing is you're telling a bunch of kids that want to make their teacher happy and make the adult in the room happy how they should believe and how they should act. So when you start talking about kids, it's not political. You're supposed to teach a curriculum. Now, this is aside from the fact that schools don't actually teach things anymore. They just teach kids how to take tests and pass tests. They're not teaching them actual knowledge. I didn't even make it 9 seconds into this video before we start. We had to stop. Too loud. Got it. Well, I apologize for it being too loud because, well, the last one was very quiet. This one is actually a TikToker, so... John, you understand politics because you are a teenager. She's not talking about teens. You are someone who is interested in politics. You are also outside the norm of what kids are used to dealing with right now. The reason most kids, and I'm not calling you a kid as an insult, John, I'm calling you a kid because you are not yet an adult. You are way different than anybody else that has to do with your age group. You're informed in what you believe. You understand what's going on. A lot of people don't. Even teenagers up into the age of 17 and 18 want to make their teachers happy because they want to get a good grade. They want to get a good grade because they're being told they have to go to college. You do not teach this stuff to kids because they don't understand the concepts that you're going to be giving them. No matter how simplistic you make it, they don't understand what you're saying. We have had study after study after study, and I wish I brought them up, but I didn't. We've had study about how kids do not recognize race. They don't understand race. They just know that Tyrone is their friend, and that Tyrone has a friend named Charlie. And Charlie has a friend named Jenny, and they're all just friends. That's it. Sparky, you're right. You need to teach kids about government, the process, and history to correct history, and things like that so it doesn't happen again. But let's I didn't even make it 9 seconds in.
curriculum, school zoning, funding, standardized testing, all of these things can create and further lead to class and racial inequalities and impact life chances for our students. Especially as a history teacher, my students deserve somebody who is going to confront and challenge the injustices and untruths that are in our history that have led to discrimination. So,
Damn Alien says many teens up to the age of 85 don't understand basic political concepts. Well, when the president is... We won't go into that. So she's a history teacher, and she's an activist, which means she's not going to teach history. She's going to teach the history that she wants kids to know. That's not a good thing. History is written by the winners. See, what this history teacher, and I'm just assuming this, I don't know if it's true or not, I'm not in her classroom, and I can only gauge by the, Pokemon colored hair that she's not going to teach what actually happened. She's going to teach what should have happened. And she's going to teach discrimination, and she's going to say that America is still going to America is still racist. So I don't necessarily think that that is a great thing. And I'm pretty sure there's a bunch of other people who don't think that's a great thing anywhere. Yes, she spent all of her money on hair dye. What I mean, Ray, it's a saying. I'm not saying that the history is actually written by the winners. I mean, the history that is taught is by the winners. Yes, a lot of losing history has been taken down as history, like Vietnam and Afghanistan is going to be Afghanistan is going to be history now as well. A lot bad things did happen in history. A lot of losers did write historical things, but it's more along the lines of well, we don't pay attention to that history. How's it going, Hook? Hook says, I highly doubt she even knows her history. I mean, she's a history teacher. I don't necessarily think that... Look, I have a friend of mine who is a teacher as well. He did go to school for it. He did have... He got his degree and everything like that. I wouldn't call him the sharpest knife in the drawer, though. Alright. Sparky says, I like my school. They don't allow teachers like this in the school. They had a sub come in like this. She didn't last 3 periods before getting removed. Interesting. How's it going, Rogue? No, the U.S. is not racist.
Yes, teaching is political because as we develop curriculum and have conversations with our students, equity and anti-racism need to be in the forefronts of our minds.
Problem right there. Equity. Equity and discrimination and all that bullshit. There is no such thing as equity. You can't get equity. You can't have everyone having an equal share of the pie. There's not enough pie. So that's why meritocracy is a really good thing. And yes, I know meritocracy can breed nihilism, and nihilism can breed cronyism and all that stuff. But, unfortunately, it's the best way to get the best person for the job. See, if I'm in a situation where, I've already told you guys because of the video, there's a possibility I'm going to have brain surgery. I don't want a diversity hire brain surgeon. I don't want the person who is the lowest on the totem pole, but they had to hire them anyway or else they'd get a fine, working on my head. I want the person that is actually able to do it, has the schooling for it, has the experience behind it. I don't need a diversity hire. Now, when we're talking about diversity hires, we're talking about someone who's hired specifically because they check off a certain amount of boxes. They don't actually necessarily know their things. But they have to be hired anyway, or else the government comes in and says that they're not allowed, you're going to pay a fine. You have to hire them. I don't want that. So, let's see. God Pikachu says she will be one of those teachers that learned for the test, and once she passed it, just went on and did her own thing. You're probably not wrong. But yeah, you can't have diversity and equity. Meritocracy is the best way to do this.
As well as giving our kids the means to gather factual information and form their own opinion. But this is wildly different than indoctrination or propaganda because I'm not trying to sway my students' opinions.
The hell you're not. Because I can almost guarantee that if you, as a teacher, had someone come to you with the opposite of what you were teaching, you would shut them down. We've seen it countless times on Twitter and videos where someone brings up something from the conservative viewpoint and they're told that they're wrong. You're not trying to teach them what's right and wrong. You're not trying to teach them both sides. You're trying to teach them what you said. what you think, what your opinion is, whether it's good or not. She honestly said form their own opinions with a straight face, which I gotta give her credit for that.
I want them to form their own educated opinions. What I'm doing is challenging a broken system and hopefully laying the groundwork for progress and justice.
You're challenging a broken system in your opinion. There is no factual or evidence of any kind stating that this is exactly what it is. It's not a broken system. Is it a perfect system? No, but by no way is it broken. And my pause game is on point again because bitch got crazy eyes. Okay? And this is most of the video. Not just, I mean, she's had crazy eyes for most of it. But, I mean, like, seriously, she got crazy eyes. So, the system is not busted. The system is in need of fixing in certain ways. There are kids that are being lost in the school system because, again, as I stated, schools do not teach people things. They teach them subjects. They teach them how to pass tests. And let's not forget the article that I talked about, 4 or 5 months ago, where they basically said that if you're a student of color, that you don't have to learn to read, you don't have to learn to write, or do math. What? This stuff. This is the white savior coming in with the low bar of racial expectations. She has to help. She has to swoop in and help students of color because she doesn't believe that they're as smart as her. So there's only a little bit left here. Yeah, just a shrug. Bitch be crazy. Bitch is wrong. In many ways. Dark says teacher activists should not be teachers, period. I agree with you. But that's how she gets CRT and stuff in the classrooms. God Pikachu, I'm not trying to sway their opinion. Funniest thing I've heard this week, she's an activist, not a teacher. She's indoctrinating them, not teaching. Yes. How's it going, Joshua? Let's see. Dark says I should watch Don't Stay in School by Boy in a Band. You're going to link it later. Alright, send me the link later. And then someone asked, question, will Matt color his hair like a unicorn? No, Matt will not. Matt's hair color is going to stay exactly like this. Alright. I have a question for you guys. And then we'll get into a couple articles that I think you guys are going to enjoy. And then I have a guest that I'm going to be bringing on. What is gender floret? Because this Zer is going to tell us what gender floret is. They come up with a new one every day, it seems like. Every minute of every day. Because everyone feels like they have to be special because they don't understand that this stuff is not a personality. Zio Gold says, remind me again, what's the difference between these woke cultists and the people who write for the Daily Stormer? That would be differences of sides. How's it going, Jacob? Alright, so gender floret. Rogue says, I heard of this, and the answer is still no. Yes, Ishtar, I know you know what a broccoli floret is. Alright, 46 seconds of what is a gender floret?
Hi everyone, my name is Bunny. I use fun pronouns. So continuing on the video talking about the gender fae.
She uses fun pronouns, or did she say pun pronouns?
Identities, there's one called gender floret. So gender floret and gender fae are...
Gender fae. Gender fae. As in fairies. Fairy genders now. Didn't we have cat and pizza pronouns before? We had cat and pizza pronouns. You can identify as pizza. But now we have gender fae. Listen. Oh, she said bun pronouns. Okay, bunny pronouns. Okay. These pronoun things, most of these people are having trouble distinguishing kinks, fetishes, sexualities with gender. This is not a thing. This is not a thing. I don't care who you are. This is no, this is not a thing. There's I'm not surprised that there's bug pronouns. I'm not. When the last Vox we did, we were talking about someone who said it was okay to identify as emoji pronouns. That's right. You can have emoji pronouns now. You can identify as the turd emoji. Listen, you I get people want to be special. I get that there are people who want to feel special. They want to be different. They want to stand out. They want to attract that certain someone that just gets them. And instead of doing that through normal means, like talking to them, you need to stand out by lowering your voice, taking hormones, wearing opposite-gendered clothing, calling yourself gender fluid or fae, or having emoji pronouns, or identifying as pizza. I'm gonna quote Filthy Frank here, because I don't have the sounder. I don't have what I need for it. It's time to stop. Okay? Where are your parents? Because it's time to stop. God Pikachu, I will not be saying that. But how's it going, Tom? Tom says, now. Every fetish is a pronoun, and every pronoun is an identity. If I want to identify as every aspect of my sexual degeneracy, I should be able to express it in public, at work, and school. And then Rogue said, there is a Gen Z person with green hair has listed bug and bugs to their list of pronouns and provides us with a tutorial on how to use them. And then Joshua comes in with something I wholeheartedly agree with. Gen Z is cancer. Simple as that. All right. Oh, God, there's 30 seconds left. Can we make 30 seconds? I don't know.
Pretty similar. Where gender fae is gender fluid between agender identities and female, gender floret is gender fluid amongst different agender neutroid identities with some feelings of femininity that can come in every now and then.
What? Did anybody else follow that? Like, seriously, did anybody else follow that? So gender fae is non-binary to possibly female or feminine, but gender floret is non-binary to feminine, but not at all times. Okay. Look, I'm gonna say this, and I say it a lot because I have to. because there's people out there who think that I'm transphobic or homophobic. I've been called every phobic and ist you could possibly think of. I will call you whatever you want. If you want to identify as pepperoni pizza, I will use whatever pepperoni pizza self pronoun you want. If you want to identify as a bug, I will do my damnedest to not laugh in your face and respect your bug self pronouns. I will do what I can to respect your pronouns as long as you respect me. The second that I misgender you, quote unquote, or say something because I don't know the 30 different mental illnesses that you've self-diagnosed with, plus the 100 different pronouns you use, and you get in my face about it, all bets are off and I'm going to laugh at you mercilessly. I understand that these people want to be special. I do. But there is a limit. There is a limit to how much we can take. So, for the people, because apparently this is a thing, there are a bunch of these TikToks that have rules and ways to talk to people about this, or talk to people with this in their bios, and how you have to use certain things. It's really simple. You give me a chart that is easy to follow, and we'll talk. But, you have to give me the chart. Otherwise, all the gobbledygook that you just said makes no sense whatsoever. Okay, a little bit left.
But never fully identifying as female. That's what I've got for gender fluid. Thank you, everyone. Bye.
That was unhelpful. That was completely unhelpful. Oh, God. Okay, so I have time for one article, maybe two, before I bring on my guest. Or we can go through one more TikTok for you guys. I'm going to leave it up to you. So put a 1 in the chat if you want an article or two, or put a 2 in the chat for the TikTok. Because if you don't, I'm going to save these for MSNBC. Because y'all aren't going to believe this shit. So, I'll wait on you guys. Get something to drink, cool my throat. No, Rogue, I want to see the chat, the chart. I want to know exactly how I'm supposed to deal with these people. Okay, so we have 2 for the TikTok, 1 for the article, 2 for the articles. Ray says, I don't need to know why you identify as bug, bag, but just tell me how you want me to address you. Exactly. Steve, I don't know if there's enough flamers in the world to deal with the stuff on TikTok. Like, lefty TikTok is friggin' ridiculous. Za, how's it going? Wants article. Let me go back here. I know people have said things. Ishtar says, I was very strongly trending towards a lefty feminist for a while. Then I got thoroughly and properly laid. I imagine that someone like this would benefit from a good lay too. But no one in their right mind is going to lay that. Whew, Ishtar's dropping truth bombs. God Pikachu says, I'd love to have so much time on my hands that I could spend it thinking up silly names that I expect everyone else to call me based on what I feel like from moment to moment. Yeah, I would love that too. I don't have that much time on my hands because I have what's called a real life, which I'm assuming most of you people in chat also have. You know, jobs, things like that. All right, it looks like we're going to go with the article since there are 3 2s, 2 1s. So I will save this TikTok for MSNBC because you guys are going to love it for that show. All right, men, this is another instance of don't do this. Ever. Just teen gets USB cable stuck in his penis in backfired attempt to measure length. And I don't need these because we're not listening to TikToks, but I will when my guest comes on. So yeah, you heard that right. Teen gets USB cable stuck in penis in backfired attempt to measure length. Tom says, I just want to know what my incentive is. If I respect, trust me, I probably don't respect you as a human being. So your pronouns are right out the window if it's not being called a phobe. Same. He backed up his hard drive and his penis. No, we didn't cover this particular one on MSNBC, Ishtar. Not this one. We've covered ones like this. This is new. This is another one. Because this is why women live longer than men. Because we're fucking dumb. A UK teen had to undergo emergency surgery after a banana's attempt to measure his manhood resulted in him getting a USB cable lodged in his urethra. Yes, Sparky, we read about something like this on Caffeinated or Die. That again, this is not a new thing. This is a new one now because the story is from September 17th, 2021. But this is not a new thing. This is the third story that I've come across about guys getting stuff stuck in their penises because they're dumb. What happened to measuring with a ruler or a measuring tape? Using a USB cable? Why? The phallic fiasco reportedly began after an unnamed 15-year-old boy was triggered by sexual curiosity and inserted a USB wire into his urethra, per a wince-worthy study published in the medical journal Urology Case Reports. That's a thrilling study. It's a thrilling journal. The sexperiment backfired, of course, when the cable became lodged in the curious teen's scrotum like an electronic catheter. He pushed it in far enough that it wrapped around one of his testicles. God Pikachu says, what's wrong with a fucking tape measure or ruler like everyone else has had to use for decades? God damn it, kids these days have shit for brains. Man. Oh God. This, despite attempts to extract it himself, the USB cord became tangled so terribly that both ends were left hanging out of his wired willy. The plugged-up boy's family transported him to the hospital after he began urinating blood. Gee, I wonder why. After initial attempts to remove the wire were failed, you just pull it like a fucking ripcord and see what happens. The teen was transferred to the University College Hospital, London, to see if they could extract the intrapenile measuring tape. Per the report, the embarrassed boy asked to speak to doctors without his mother present, whereupon he confessed to his frightening escapade. Subsequent X-rays revealed that there was a veritable Gordian knot of USB wire inside the teenager, which required surgeons to make an incision in the region between his genitals and anus to yank it out. He got they cut open this dude's taint. Wait till you see the X-ray. Oh, God. Thankfully, the boy recovered without incident and was discharged from the hospital. While the following day, however, he did have to undergo a follow-up scan 2 weeks later and will require monitoring in the future. That's the X-ray. It's knotted here, and oh God. Ray says, I want to know if he had to flip it over to make it fit, just like when using a USB properly. And then here come the puns. Ray says, so they're saying that the cord is tainted. And then Tom says, the story tain't right. Oh God. Oh God. He should thank his lucky stars. Inserting foreign objects into one's private parts can lead to a host of complications. From urinary tract infections to urethral injuries. London andrologist Amr Rahim told the Daily Mail. It is unclear why someone would engage in this type of invasive member measuring method, but experts say it often stems from sexual curiosity. Sexual practice after intoxication, and mental disorders such as borderline, schizoaffective, and bipolar personality disorders. Per the study, which noted that the patient was an otherwise fit and healthy adolescent with no history of mental health disorders. Experts have also blamed sounding, a strange proclivity defined by inserting foreign bodies in one's urethra. Last month, a Randy, Michigan man was left struggling to pee after he got 6 kidney beans lodged in his urethra during a bizarre attempt at sexual gratification. Kidney beans are about that big, right? About that big. This dude put 6 of them in a hole that big. Unfortunately, Rahim said phallus-filling maneuvers, that's a phrase I never thought I'd have to say, are becoming more common as everything is thanks to social media and in general the easier ways that misinformation can be spread. I've covered some of these stories, like sticking a frozen potato up your hoo-ha. Don't do these. I think they're talking about Randy as in just horny. Yeah, I see the DMs, Rug. I've seen the lists before. I want a chart on how to deal with these things and what each one means. Like gender florette. Like there was a whole thing about. Give me like a diagram on how to use these pronouns, not just what they mean. All right, this is the last one, because I don't know how long it's going to get through the guest stuff, but we will. how much of a psycho woman do you guys want to deal with? Is a question. Like, do you want to deal with psycho married woman, or do you want to deal with psycho girlfriend? I mean, both of them are nuts. No pun intended to the last story. The answer to the chart is fire. Joshua, if you happen to be in my Discord, you can DM it to me. You said it's not safe for YouTube, so I won't be showing it. Also, how's it going, Bloodletter? I am doing pretty well today. Can't argue. But links to the Discord are going up and down. Nightbot has put it out there somewhere. Also, the links to the Discord are in the description. Ishtar wants to hear about the married chick. God Pikachu. God damn it, man. God Pikachu says, I saw a guy pour hot candle wax down his piss hole once and then pass it back out once it had cooled, and that was bad enough. Oh, no. No, guys, no. Stop doing this. Alright. Steve says, psycho girlfriend if I was forced to because I can walk away. Might need to change my locks, keep my gun loaded, but still have my out. Not wrong, but how long is this one? This one... Okay, so I'm gonna save the girlfriend one for MSNBC. This one's a short one. Alright. Okay. Dating is hard, guys. We understand that, right? Dating is hard. Like, if you don't find someone that you're attracted to or understands you the ways that you want to be understood, dating can be fucking hard. My friend James has had a very, very rough dating life. But he's also been married. So, I understand being upset after a certain amount of dates failed. I don't know if I would go this far. Model plans to marry her dog after giving up on men following 220 failed dates. Rogue, I never found dating to be hard. Some people do. Apparently for this model, it was hard. And you bring up someone who gets off using a cheese grater? Come on! What is wrong with a cheese grater? Fucking cheese. Come on. Alright. It could be an Adam Sandler. It probably will be an Adam Sandler movie. Alright. This is quick, and then my guest is in the waiting room. So, a fed-up former model who says she's done with men plans to marry her pet dog after going on 220 failed dates. Elizabeth Hode hopes to persuade her local Catholic Church to allow her... Good luck. Catholic Church gonna marry you to a dog? Nope. Hope her local Catholic Church to allow her to wed her 6-year-old golden retriever named Logan. Hode, 49, is a former Page 3 model and had well-documented flings in the 1980s with legendary golfer Steve Ballesteros. I don't know who that is. And famed racing driver James Hunt. Don't know who that is either. She plans to tie the knot in front of 20 other guests who are there just for laughs. And she says she will wear the wedding ring while Logan will wear a top hat, waistcoat, and bow tie. Don't dress up your dog. Her friends, 2 huskies, Ajax and Bear, will be the best men at the wedding. She's not bad looking. Guys, she's not bad looking. God, Pikachu hits the nail right on the head. When you have that many failed dates, something tells me the problem isn't with the men. She will then whisk her canine spouse off on a honeymoon to a dog-friendly hotel. I don't think they're going to film the conception. Or consummation. Consummation. Conception is something completely different. Consummation. Elizabeth of Ascot, Berkshire, has been engaged twice but never married. She said, I've had 220 dates in 8 years from 6 dating sites, and it's generally been a disaster. I thought it would be a good idea to marry Logan instead. He never leaves my side, and we love one another. Some might think I'm bonkers, but it feels right. Is anybody else getting really creepy vibes? Elizabeth is not the only person to have their nuptials with their beloved four-legged friend. Wilhelmina Callahan married Henry the Yorkshire Terrier in 2009 because people fucking thought that was normal. After reading about people who had married their pets online, she decided to take the plunge with Henry. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Yeah, the dog is 6 already. So you're telling me that she is expecting to be with this dog for 6 more years? Yeah, something is a little off. Oh, Jesus. All right. Oh boy. I'm going to save that last one for MSNBC, as well as the TikTok. The TikTok's going to be great. All right. I have to get my headphones again because I have a guest. It does happen every once in a while on this show. Now, I don't know if you guys follow him on Twitter, but he is in the chat. Sparky will be my guest today. He's been a longtime friend of mine, a longtime friend of the channel, and he has had some shit happen to him that is absolutely bullshit, but I am not going to spoil it for you if you guys don't follow him. I'm going to let him talk, so give me just a second here. I need to jump into there, and then we bring Sparky here. Hello?
What's up?
Hey! Wow, you are loud.
You better turn me down, man.
Yeah, I'm going to turn you down just a little bit here. So, welcome to the Last Vox again, Sparky. You've been on here before.
I'm an annoyance that just doesn't go away, am I?
So, you have been having some trouble lately.
Yes, I have.
How are you doing with everything?
Well, it's actually good because I actually talked about it on today's show.
Well, I figured you did.
Because I do have my a channel that I can still do stuff on, but my primary YouTube channel, Sparky's Tech Corner, the one's been around for about 4.5 years, is yeeted. It is in the shadow realm.
Is there a possible way for you to get it back? I mean...
Well, see, here's the problem. And it's really kind of hard to state that if I have a chance of getting back or not, because YouTube is just not helpful whatsoever. They don't like to help out. They don't like to give information out. And you have no chance of even getting a correspondence unless you have a couple 100,000 subscribers. So
Yeah, you gotta have enough to where they actually pay attention.
yeah, pretty much.
Twisted Skipster says, impromptu caffeinated or die. Woohoo!
Impromptu. Well, my show is called Recaffeinated, so, and it's actually supposed to be a kind of a slight alteration of what caffeinated or die was. So, and I have fun with it. Although all 79 episodes are now gone.
Yeah, I saw that you posted that you're starting back over at number 1.
Yes, and Penn was a little bit unhappy that I took a name out of the title, but it's like, it sounds better saying Recaffeinated with Sparky and Friends than saying Sparky, Penn and Friends, because sometimes she can't come on, so it just doesn't make sense.
Did you fire your co-host without telling her? Listen,
She was on it today.
Hey, you can't do that. That's my bag. Like, that's my whole deal. I do that. You don't get to do that.
Well,
That's
I mean,
gimmick
anyway,
infringement.
I would have room to it if I did. But no, it's like I was talking about on today's show. I've been dealing with this for about almost a month. My channel got struck on the 8th, around on the 8th.
Yeah.
Of September. And I've been dealing with the company that did this YouTube, trying to get this settled and resolved, and
yeah, I mean, we were talking about it. You did the right thing. You filed a counterclaim, which doesn't necessarily do anything. I filed counterclaim. Now, to clarify for the people who don't know, this is an actual legitimate strike, not a claim. So it's not as simple as, okay, they, in 30 days it's going to go away.
Oh no, this was manually done.
Okay. So you did the right thing. You filed a counterclaim. On top of filing a counterclaim, you actually contacted them to try and do the right thing.
Yeah. Actually, what'd probably be best to do is, since my channel got struck, I had to, because YouTube doesn't know anything of what's been going on behind the scenes. They only know, what I'm able to do, which is not much. Hit a couple buttons, say yes, I believe I'm in fair use, and then sends it off to them, and then I don't know what they do on the other side of it.
Yeah.
But the only thing YouTube knows is just those interactions. They have no idea about anything else. So I contacted a couple people, and they told me about a email address I could send information to, and to make it as detailed as possible. I basically laid out, I think it's like 7 pages. Not long pages, but 7 pages.
Yeah.
Kind of listing out the whole thing that happened. But anyways, you were saying?
Well, I was going to say, YouTube is a third party. So they can't... I know why they do the things that they do, because it's for them it's safer legally to just, okay, they made a DMCA claim, we're going to an actual manual strike or copyright claim or whatever. They have to do it, or else they're going to they could be held liable, right?
Yes, that's part of the DMCA safe harbor provisions. So, I mean, at the end of the day, it's not really YouTube's fault.
How's it going,
Well,
Brinjar? If I said that wrong, I apologize.
Brinjar Ruzio.
Yeah, he says, "Hello, I went away for 5 minutes and YouTube sent me here automatically. I got recommended by somebody. What am I doing wrong?"
Oh, nice. Well, it sounds like you're doing something right. But no, I think the easiest way would be just to read this whole letter. I sent you the letter. I don't know if you read through or not, but
no,
basically.
You told me you were going to read it, so
down.
yeah, you said you were going to read it, so I figured I'd just let you read it.
Okay. Yeah, because it's basically just it will fill everything in. I try to make this as simple as possible, so if somebody at YouTube does read this, an actual human actually reads this, they can go through here and go, oh, okay, this is what's going on. But for anyone who hasn't had to do anything like this, if you do get a manual strike on your channel, basics of it is you got to file a call notice. If you believe you're within fair rights, or the person striking you does not have the legal grounds to send you a strike, for anyone who experiences this, my best advice: talk to a lawyer first, because this will or can open you up to being sued. So just don't willy-nilly hit the counterclaim button. That's one thing. So I'm actually anticipating it. I want it to happen, but
You want to go to court?
well, once you listen to what I have to read on this, you'll see why I kind of want it to happen.
Okay.
Okay. So, hello, my name is, blank. I own Sparky's Tech Corner at YouTube. Recently, I have become the talk of what seems to be false copyright allegations concerning 2 shows and 1 live streams on my channel by a company known as Camiso's GmbH.
Now so you've shown on your Twitter that this site, this company is basically known for doing this. Like, I perused it, and it's a bunch of 1-star reviews of how it's not just claiming YouTube stuff, they're claiming stuff on Etsy as well.
Yes. It's basically, I think Rogue put it best. It's like back alley hitman for wanting to, give people a service of, we can protect your copyright if you want to give us a service, even though there's really no way to contact us.
All right, so you guys know what the name of the company is, so you can look out for it. I'm putting it in the chat. It's Camiso GmbH.
Yeah, Camiso. I haven't been able to figure out correct pronunciation. Everyone says it differently.
Yeah, whatever it is.
Yeah. Anyways, continue on. The organization is based out of Germany and claims to stop piracy of many different shows and differing contents from YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Etsy. In their site, they boast more than 30,000 protected series, more than 90 million removed illegal copies at a 97.7684% average removal rate, and lawsuits against end users, which would be me, none. With a section in their public page that directs you to their preferred streaming sites with the caption, "Our company is not only involved in several public projects to fight piracy, but also known as an expert in its field."
Wait, so they send you to their own hosting site?
Yes. They actually provide it. If you go to the link well, they don't even provide a link when they send it to YouTube. But if you look them up by name, you will see it.
Do you remember there was a Mexican sharing site, I think it was a year ago, that just like ripped everybody's things off of YouTube?
Yes.
Like even Help for the Guildless was on there.
Yeah,
we weren't even a big
remember
one.
that. Yeah, I remember that. I think it's more like 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah, is it kind of like that?
It's I wouldn't say it's like that. They basically direct to other pages like Netflix and Crunchyroll and other streaming services, but not. There's some of them I recognize, there's some of them I don't. They also have like 2 or 3 other linked sites that you can go to. One of them is like a blacklist site you can go to, but you gotta fill in the information to be able to have access to it. I don't even know what that is.
Okay.
But it's the site makes them look like they're big and bad, but they're not. If you look them up on Twitter, they have like 70 followers, and if you look them up on Facebook, they have like 100 followers. And it's like, okay, if you guys are doing this kind of work for big name companies like Kyoto Animation or Bandai, Funimation, I think you'd be a little bit bigger.
Yeah. Well, so one of our meme smiths has made a meme already. He took the if you're seeing it on screen, your Klingon in the lower right hand corner.
I know. No, he made that during today's live stream on my show.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Bloodletter even says I've never heard of them. I'll check it out. On the phone in the back garden at the moment. Yeah, so it does say that they have one lawsuit against end users.
No, well, that's...
Oh, because of you. I get it.
Yeah.
Okay,
No.
okay.
Yeah, that's that Manscrotch did that. If you go to the actual site, you can see it. I'll actually put it in the chat for everyone. But if you actually click on that site and go to it, you'll see on the top it says public. If you click on that link and go to public, it'll actually send you down to what sites that they want you to go to.
Okay, so...
with that same quote.
Alright. Let's go ahead and click here. Okay, I see it. Let's bring that up.
Yeah, Rogue asked for it, Rogue got it.
Well,
that's exactly how that happened today.
Memes are the best way. Okay, so this is just clicking on the home page.
Mm-hmm.
And you said go to public?
Yes. I believe it'll be the second one down.
Oh, getanimes.com legal VOD service overview.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, really?
Yep.
So this is a third-party site that they're they're sending you through their site so that they get the traffic?
Yep.
That makes no fucking sense.
It's a conflict of interest, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a huge conflict of interest.
Yeah. Anyways, let me continue on with this.
Yeah, go ahead.
But anyways, on my channel I host a show called Anime Watch Club. The show focuses on reviews, critiques, commentaries, and reactions. I believe I comply with copyright law under fair use in the production of my content. All sound is removed, and the picture and subtitles are heavily obscured. The format of the show consists of an introduction followed by a discussion involving myself and several people about an episode of an anime, generally organized as follows: 10 to 30 minutes talking about the previous episodes and expectations for the current episode, reactions and commentary over the episode, and 10 minutes to an hour discussing and critiquing the episode, which may also include critiques and discussions about the overall anime as well as comparisons to other related anime. This is a common format on many YouTube channels. Examples includes Blind Wave. I provided a link to Blind Wave's channel because my format's a lot different what theirs are, but I got the idea from them at a couple of channels.
Okay.
Anyways, the two titles at issue are Violet Evergarden and Godzilla Singular Point, as well as one live stream with only me in it explaining the issue of being struck by Kamiso's GmbH.
Yeah, that's what you said. You were talking about it being struck and that they struck that live stream.
Yes, because I had a Violet Evergarden name in it. Because I had the name of the show that they struck first in it.
How's it going, Herb?
Yeah. Anyways, the first video struck was Violet Evergarden episode 3 by Takasu I can't say his name. I'm not gonna butcher it either, but the light novel, and Ryoko Yusinda, the anime, published by Kyoto Animations and licensed by Netflix as the primary streaming rights holder, Madman Entertainment, Funimation, and Anime Limited, with the original network being Tokyo MX. I provide links to that video. The second video struck after talking to Kamiso's GmbH was Godzilla Singular Point episode 11. It's a show written by To Injo, Studio Bones Original, Bones Orange, licensed by Netflix as the primary streaming rights holder.
Yeah.
And original network Tokyo MX. So I try to make it clear of who owns this and who are the people that makes this.
Yeah.
The third video struck was not even a video. It was not even a part of Anime Watch Club. It was a live stream I made after getting my first strike by Kamiso's GmbH. The name of the stream was Copyright Strike by Kamiso's GmbH on Violet Evergarden Episode 3 Anime Watch Club. The live stream consisted of an explanation from my point of view of being struck the first time by Kamiso's GmbH, a German company, stating that they had rights to attack me, my video involving a show made and produced in Japan and streamed in America by Netflix while I live in America, and expressing my frustrations at Kamiso's GmbH for not taking fair use into account as stated in 17 U.S. Code 107, Limitations of Exclusive Rights, Fair Use.
Real quick, God Pikachu says their legal argument would be along the lines of, we represent these broadcast companies, therefore we are empowered to enforce their IP.
Oh, no. It gets better when you start reading the emails I got from them.
Okay. Well, we have emails.
Yes, we do, and it's included in this list. Anyways, after I list all the relative information timeline, I received the first strike 9/8/2021 by Kamiso's with contact email youtube-dmca@kamisos.org. I sent an email to them that day with the following. You guys do not own this copyright. This is a fair use and transformative. Hold a strike on my channel now. I have yet to receive a reply on this day of 10/1/21 to this email. Understanding that.
Do you mind if I give the visual of the email or the stuff that you sent me? Do you mind if I show it on screen?
You can if you want. I don't know if you got to go through and actually look on my Twitter. I've got it posted on my Twitter.
Well, I have the file downloaded.
Well, oh, you mean this?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I'm reading. Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Okay.
I thought you wanted to show the actual emails. It's like, if you guys show the ones I sent you, don't.
No. Censored. No. Let me zoom in here, though. Oh, continue reading. I just got to zoom in.
All right, that's fine. I have yet to receive a reply on this day, 10/1/21, to this email. Understanding that considering Violet Evergarden is a walk owned by Kyoto Animations, a studio in Japan, and Netflix in the US, a German company should not hold any rights, let alone speak for either of these companies. I filed my first counter notice under penalty of perjury. If taken to court and found guilty, I submitted my name, phone number, address, email address on 9/10/21 and got email confirmation from YouTube on 9/11. Claiming the claim was submitted, and as of this day of 10/1, have not seen any legal notice through email, shipped to my home address, or by phone. So I emailed them on the 8th when I got strike. I waited 2 days, and then I filed my counter notification. So it's not like I just, kind of notified.
So you contacted them first to try and fix things. Be like, hey, this is what's going on, and then when they snubbed you, you basically, okay, I'm filing a counterclaim.
Yeah, and that's the way you need to do it. After you talk to some sort of legal representation.
Okay.
Because unfortunately, I mean, we have, as creators, when we post videos, we don't know who exactly is going at us unless they give us an email address. Or it'll give us an email address and it'll give us the company or the name of the people that's doing this, but that's it. We have no way of contacting them by phone. We have no way of contacting them by mail, anything like that. We don't get that information. We only get email and who they are. That's it.
Okay.
And all the stuff I've listed out about them is stuff I've looked up myself online.
Well, did things change? Because I remembered that if you get a strike, you're supposed to at least get information about them when you want to file a counterclaim. I've never had to file one, so I don't know. Like, I've just dealt with the claims, not the strikes.
Yeah. Well, no, the only thing you get, and it's always been like this, but the only thing you get from them is YouTube will send you, because YouTube acts like the mediator for this. And once you counterclaim it, basically, technically, how the old DMCA law was, they're out of it then. Now it's up between the two combatants.
Yeah.
And it's between me and between them. YouTube was was supposed to stay out of it. Now the new DMCA laws kind of state that if they have some sort of a valid claim, they will just automatically side with them. Technically, in law, that goes against DMCA safe harbor provisions, but it is what it is.
You've been talking to lawyers.
Well, this is just basics of copyright. This is something before I even met you, Matt, this is something I was interested in, and I've went through this, and I learned a lot about this whenever the incident with Alex Mal happened, and she DMCA struck and took several channels down as a result of people uploading a game that had music, and she was claiming ownership of the music. So I learned a lot from back then, and I just add on to it. But yes, I have been talking.
Wait, she had her music licensed to the game. And people were doing Let's Plays of it, and she was claiming the music?
Alright. Sidetrack on it since I brought it up. Alright. She worked for the company that made the game. She made the music for it. She went through a sex change and depression and all this other good stuff. She was not able to finish the work, and she left the company. Well, the company continued on. They finished her portion of the work and then left. She was pissed off because she didn't get her full amount of money she was supposed to get for doing the work, even though she didn't complete the work.
I was going to say, you didn't finish the work, you don't get the full pay. What the fuck?
Yeah, so her retaliation against the company was to go out to YouTubers that stream the game on early access, ransom their accounts, and have them attack the game company.
Wow.
Yeah, it ended up being a big legal scheme. Note, she lost.
Well, yeah, but just wow, that's no pun intended. She had some balls on her.
Yeah, she lost big time.
All right. Sorry.
All right.
Continue.
Anyways, continuing on. 3 weeks passed with no notification. I refrained from uploading any more episodes of Anime Watch Club to see if the strike will be lifted or if I will have a legal battle to face. On 9/27/21 at 2 a.m., I received an email from YouTube that the strike had been lifted. I did not receive this email until later in the day at noon because of my work schedule. After returning home and looking at my YouTube, I find that it's been struck again by the same company, Camiso's GmbH. With one change, the email went from YouTube-DMCA at Camisos.org to Tracy-B at Camisos.org. Due to the fact that I had not received any correspondence from them, I suspected it could be a bot or troll. I counted the video again, but was faced with this message from YouTube. Dear Sparky's Tech Corner, thank you for your counter notifications. Based on the information you provided, it appears that you do not have the necessary rights to post the content on YouTube. Therefore, we regretfully cannot honor your request, as it has not been forwarded to the original claimant, and we will not be able to restore your video. Please contact them and see if you can't resolve the matter between one and another.
So because the email changed, it's different?
Yes.
Okay.
So, yeah, and they changed the same company, same name for the company, different email. Yeah, and I note the email changes for a reason. The first strike had just been lifted, only to be replaced with a second one, with no explanations as to why I wasn't being sued. Nor have I received notice of court summons. No one contacted me, explained what the issue was, so I contacted the email at tracy-b at camisos.org. The below messages are the resulting email chain, unedited to preserve the original circumstances. Apologies in advance for any poor grammar and pronunciations, as the correspondence occurred while I was at work and did not have access to a computer to type properly.
Okay.
Striking my...
So is there any information that I can't show from this, or is it just like?
If you're showing the documents that I sent you, it's all fine. It's all been redacted. This is all public information on their private site.
Okay.
Tracy B, or Tracy Brown, is very known with this community because she is the one that responds to everyone that talks to Kamisos.
Okay. Continue.
All right. Let me get back to where I was at. Why are you striking my videos? They don't show anything, and we are talking about the video. I finally got a response back. Not from that email, but from Tracy@Kamisos.org with the following. I checked the video, you showed the full episode, and sent her the video.
So
it's closed.
This is another email address.
Yes. So I did not get a response back from Tracy-B@Kamisos. I got a response back from Tracy@Kamisos.
So that's 3 emails now.
Yes. And that's the thing, too. Especially if you're going through something like this. Technically, the resulting emails that you receive because of this is considered legal forms, legal documents.
Okay.
They must be with the email that was sent on the claim, because if you show this in a court setting, who's to say that this is them or this is not them? So technically, they kind of went around making it towards, oh, well, it's not us doing this.
Because it's a different email address.
Yes.
That's sneaky.
It is. Oh, yeah, it gets worse. I checked the video, you showed a full episode and sent on the video. It's clear they did not take fake use in their account, because I used a transformative approach to make my video, and my walks are based primarily on commentary, critiquing, and reviews.
Okay.
Well, can you lift the strike?
Well, real quick, explain what you do before going on. Explain how you transform, because everybody knows the basis of fair use. It has to be. Okay, so the basis of fair use is there has to be some form of transformative work to it, or critique, or criticism, or humor. Getting into the nitty gritty of it is going so far as, like with Sargon, all you just editing it a 15-minute video down to 9 minutes without adding commentary is considered fair use, because there is transformative nature to it.
I will share this because the video actually is up on Rogues Retro. We wanted to do an experiment of what would happen. And he has 5,000 subscribers on the channel. He wanted the video. I gave it to him. He uploaded it, and we're seeing what happens. And he's trying different tags and stuff like that. It'll be safe to show if you wanted to. If not, that's understandable. But for everyone down in the comments, the link in the comments is the that's the show in question that says I showed the show.
Yeah, we brought up. Tyro brings up that they struck Etsy shops, and we brought that up briefly.
Yeah, we brought that up. But anyways, that's for anyone to look at. If you think that's fair use, if you don't think it's fair use, it's fine. I pretty much gave an overview of what the shows were explained. The pitch is heavily obscured. There is no sound. And like I said, there's a good chunk of the video at the beginning of it while we're talking about it, and a very good chunk at the end of it when we're talking about it.
So it's transformative, is what I'm saying. There's critique to it. There's critique. There's no audio, because you've had this problem before within comments where people have come to you and been like, I can't hear anything, and your response was basically, this is a watch along. You're supposed to get it yourself. Or find a place to watch it yourself, and you watch along with while we discuss.
Yes, to avoid things like this.
Yeah, the video is transparent to the very low transparency. There's no audio to it. There's discussion before the video and at the end of the video. I mean, it's
commentary during it.
And commentary during it, which means you pause or you talk over it. Which is all considered fair. Okay, so it's still considered fair use. There's critique going on, and that is 100% covered by fair use. Anybody who says otherwise has no idea what they're talking about.
Well, it is. Now, I will make this this very well known. It has not been challenged in a court of law. This is still kind of out there new. Even with the other anime reaction channels out there, it still has not been challenged as to if those styles and formats or not. The legal question has not been made, and a legal determination has not been made. This is all based upon basically what fair use is, the 4 varying factors for fair use, and making a good determination of what to do to be able to do this.
Okay.
So it's I cannot say it's 100% fair use. It has the legal question has not been tested on the video. So as far as I'm concerned, it is. In other people's opinions, it may be. Legally, I can't say that.
Okay.
Well, anyways. Well, can you lift the strike, and I'll take it down, and I'll rework it. I tried to make it to where you have to watch your own copy along with my video. You put the strike back up before I had a chance to do anything about it. I am unsure what to do except to attempt to get Tracy Brown to lift the strike or explain the situation. Now, this is where it kind of gets fucky.
Okay.
From Tracy. That is unfortunately no longer possible. You swore under penalty of perjury that the episode was not shown in the video. When we rewatched the video, you can clearly see the full episode in the center of the video. As such, we will now hand this case over to law enforcement. As you know, perjury is a serious crime. You started a legal process by lying under oath, and the process will now be continued.
Except
Tracy Brown.
You're not. Perjury is a term for court, not.
Yes.
Not this. There's no penalty. You swore under penalty of perjury, which means that if you're lying in a court, they can hold that against you. You are not. You're not. Mm-hmm. We're handing this case over to law enforcement. Okay, that's fine. You hand the case over to law.
It's not fine. It's not fine.
Well, I was going to say there's nothing that they can do.
Well, no. Even then, they're not supposed to. So there is actually a case out there. YouTube suing Christopher Brown.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I know about that one. I know what that is. Or Christopher Brady.
You're not supposed to contact law enforcement. The information that I provide you in a counter notification is only supposed to be used to contact me from them to work out an agreement, work out a licensing agreement, discuss the issue, try to settle it, or getting legal services as in a request for summons to a court by a lawyer. That is the only thing that they are legally allowed to do with that information. They are not allowed to call law enforcement.
So Rogue says he thinks that they're actually from India.
It's a theory that we have.
It's possible.
It is. Now, it'll get better. They do not determine perjury. A court of law does. And from a legal case of YouTube versus Christopher Brandy, the personal information I give you to send to them is meant for the purposes of contacting me with legal notice of a suit or explain why I'm being struck and walk out an agreement, not hand this case over to law enforcement. This is a civil matter, not a criminal matter. And the legal counsel I consulted after this exchange stated the same. This is a tactic meant to scare me, and I thought the same thing at the time. And I replied back with, seeing how you never responded to my video, my first email, what was I supposed to do? I know what you want now. Pull the strike, and I will pull the video down, and I will correct it. The first email is what was on the first strike. This email was on the second strike. So let's settle this outside court, and go from there. I filed a counterclaim because I figured you wouldn't respond to the second email like you did the first. With this, I sent a screen cap of the first email from YouTube-DMCA at Camisos to Tracy at Camisos.
Wait, okay. So I want to read this because this is fucking bonkers. Just because we don't reply to an email does not really mean you can just file a counter notice. Yes, it does. If you don't reply, I have no other means than to file a counter notice. That's how this works.
Continue on with it, please.
Oh, I really don't know what to say to that. Because you're full of shit. A counter notice is a legal process. You swear under penalty of perjury that what you say is true, but what you said was not true. Regardless of what we do, perjury is a criminal offense. It is not a civil matter. Law enforcements in your country have decided whether or not they will charge you in the future. Wow! Wow! Oh my god, this is definitely a scam. And I'm
Yes.
okay. Rogue and I don't agree on a lot. That's fair. I agree with him. They're a VPN in Germany or something like that.
Yeah.
This is either they're really dumb Germans or they're definitely Indian.
It gets better.
We also do not understand how everyone thinks they can just upload content and then just delete it when it is reported. The strike is a punishment for a law infringement. The easiest way is to wait until the strike times out and just not take content you have no permission to use anymore moving forward. So that means they know it's a fake strike. They straight admitted to the fact that it's a fake strike because that's what happens. So now, like I said, I've just dealt with claims, but on a DMCA claim, if you counter it and you provide just a short thing of like, hey, the music I used is part of a remix, which makes it transformative, it's covered under fair use, they will wait the 30 days, and then it just drops off. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. I've had some where they're like, no, this is mine.
It depends. It depends because they will send that to whatever the ID is tied to. They'll send that information to them, and they do not respond.
Yeah.
Then they would drop it off. If they respond, and they can prove otherwise, or just say no, it's not this and stuff like that, then it stays on. And for copyright ID, there's no way to go around it. Because once that happens, the only way is to basically sue. Well, the only thing you do is sue YouTube. And there actually was a case, I don't know what happened to it, but there was a case that of someone suing YouTube because of copyright ID because of that issue.
But
I don't know what the outcome of the case was.
But everybody knows that if it's not answered, that it just drops off. Like I've had four in the last couple months, because of music that I use for the archives. Right. At one point they talked to. I got manually claimed twice, and I was like, look, it's a remix, and excuse me, both times they got dropped immediately. Like I got an email saying your counterclaim was accepted. I have two because of Cringe Book Club, and same thing. Look, it's a remix. It's considered fair use. Blah blah blah. They don't. Yeah, they don't. They just everybody knows that 30 days it'll drop off. They know for a fact with that second paragraph that it's a fake copyright strike. They know. They just want to claim money. And unfortunately, they do it with the smaller channels because they can. Because if, like, say Markiplier started doing Anime Watch Club, and they strike Markiplier's video, Markiplier calls the people he knows specifically at YouTube and goes, take this away. It's dumb. And then they get, don't make me go to court for this because it's going to, it's going to affect them. It's going to affect YouTube. Markiplier fucking threatened to leave YouTube, and they took every step they fucking could to fix what they did.
Yeah. Rogue says that case is still going on, so that's why I don't know of a
outcome yet.
It's still going on. Anyways, I'm going to continue on with this because
go ahead.
We're halfway through it. Again, they attempt to use strong arm tactics like you swore under penalty of perjury. Perjury is a criminal offense and it's not a civil matter. Law enforcement in your country have to decide whether or not they will charge you in the future, and the strike is punishment for law infringement. There is no say of who they are representing, no mention of the exact copyright violation, and they are misrepresenting that this is a civil case, not criminal. No papers have been sent, even to this day, 10-1. Voter, if they was to follow through on the threats, they would be misusing DMCA claims and attempt to have me arrested and charged for perjury, despite that I have not perjured myself. These are scare tactics to prevent me from fighting their fraudulent DMCA claims.
I would love for just the police to come up and go, "You're being arrested for perjury. What court was I in?" And then
again, yes,
crickets, crickets.
This is why I was so pissed off whenever I received the second strike and then the first strike. This is why I was so irate about everything.
Tyro
this
says
is bullshit.
Yeah. Oh, this is definitely bullshit. Tyro says you should file proper suit on Comiso.
I can't.
Comso? I don't know how to say it.
I can't.
Why? Oh, because they're in Germany. Or they're...
Yeah. I have no legal grounds. I have no area of injury. I have no way to go at them. And even if I did, and the lawyer I talked to, even if I was to spend the money and do that, who's to say that address is correct? Because it gets funnier because I did do a Google up search.
All right, continue.
My response back to him, no, you can't see the show. I had 4 other episodes up and you didn't strike them. You handled this like a bot. You hit number 3 and had number 4 out. 4 was up when you hit 3 again. I took them down to figure out what was going on. I'm trying to help you out here. On my show, they're mostly commentary, reviews, and reactions. The overlays and distortions over the show, it's silent with no volume to make it unmarketable, not going for a replacement, going for a review and commentary. This is the definitions of fair use. Kyoto Animation is rights holder in Japan, not Germany. Never had an issue with any other show, much less to a company that redirects to their own co-opted streaming site on their webpage. Besides, you never sent anything the first strike and never responded. I'm more than glad to go to court. If not, I'll forward YouTube the interactions after 10 business days starting back from the first strike. If I don't receive any legal notice, so I'm asking one last time, take the strike down. I will take the video down. I will rework the video to cut out more, even though you can't see, watch, or enjoy the show as is.
Rogue says they're a company in either a cemetery or a school.
You're ruining the best part, Rogue. Shush.
Spoiler! Rogue, you should have put spoiler alert before everything. Now you're just ruining the punchline.
Well, it's Rogue. He's being Rogue. Anyways, I'm frustrated at this point. I know now, even before I talked to legal counsel, this was a type of scam or troll. There is no mention of when we're going to court, no information about those IP, on whose IP I violated, and they refused to work for me, going so far as to attempt to scam me. And in my opinion, they would ask for a bribe if I submitted to them. But I knew I was right, so I kept starting. Do you want to go ahead and read Tracy's responses, and I'll read my own?
I will read Tracy. Actually, if she would do it, I don't know what she's doing.
We don't know if Tracy's a guy or a girl.
Okay.
So it's
I was gonna say Tracy. We could have Barbara come in and read, but she may be busy.
It's all good.
If you embed the full episode into a video, including subtitles, that's illegal. You are trying to grab on straws here now, throwing around various reasons. Then you start to threaten. If your only problem is that we have not striked other uploads, I assume that can be done, in case you upload further shows of our clients. Kind regards, Tracy Brown. And then, go ahead.
It was at this point I knew my channel was being ransomed, as they never accounted for fair use and I never threatened them. As we have seen up to this point, they threatened me with legal actions and contacting authorities. They have now also threatened to use DMCA as a retaliation measure against my resistance, which is a clear abuse of DMCA. The purposes of my mentioning the lack of other strikes on the video was to point out hypocrisy and to call into question their motives and methods. Because what I was thinking with that whole deal is, they seen the channel. They had to go to the channel.
Yeah, it's manual.
I had episode 3 up. I had other episodes up too. Why wasn't those struck at the same time?
I mean, you would honestly think if the real case of the DMCA is that you were showing Violet Evergarden full on, that they would have gone through 1, 2, 3, and 4 and struck all 4 of them at once. Like, if that's actually what you were doing. At least that's my thought to it. I could be wrong. I don't think I am.
It doesn't matter how you type that phone number in from their site. It doesn't matter if you use the out-of-country number. It doesn't matter if you use... there's like 4 or 5 different methods. Or if you just call the number itself. Each time you get hit with the tone of, well, sorry, this number does not exist.
There's a phone number on the site to call.
Yep. Which is not even a phone number.
Got it. So yeah, right. I went down a rabbit hole at one point of watching scammers. John Brown was a channel that he would like counter hack scammers to shut down their sites and shut down their computers and like delete their entire system and stuff like that. These are tactics that they use, that scammers use. I've actually been in contact with a scammer. Like, they called when I went to culinary school, I filed for loans, and I got a call from a weird number, and I was like, all right. So I answered it, and it was someone of Indian descent telling me that if I don't, do I want my free grants from this site. And I asked how they got my number. And they said, well, someone put your name in. I said, who put my name in? I'd like to know. Well, they gave us your name. Do you want your money or not? And I said, let me talk to your boss. So I got their quote-unquote boss on the phone, who got very angry with me that I was not giving them my information, and basically told me that if I didn't give them the information or accept the grant, the U.S. federal grant, if I did not accept it right then and there, that I was never going to get another grant for the rest of my life. And my response was, dude, I'm almost 30. You are trying to intimidate me for not getting a grant for the rest of my life. Please tell me once and for all what site I put my name in and how I was entered into this contest to win a grant, because they gave me all manner of excuses. And he was like, so you don't want the grant? I was like, no. He's like, you're never going to get another grant again. I was like, okay, bye. Click.
Bye. Wow. Anyways.
Yeah. It's the same tactics.
It is exact same tactics. I've seen them before. That's why I wasn't backing down. Anyways, continue on. I never threatened you. I simply stated I'm willing. I'm still waiting on your first strike's legal notice, and I simply stated something seems off for the fact that you only went after one video. I will now make sure to reach out to YouTube support and legal team, as well as an attorney of my own for further fraudulent DMCA claims. Only threat made to me. Only threat made was to me by trying to weaponize the DMCA system now. Please make sure any legal paperwork sent is in priority with signature verification of delivery. You have my mailing address. Until then, I'll be contacting YouTube. I stated I would contact you guys and figured, well, future uploads won't happen until I figure out what was happening. And when I got this supposed legal notice, I made out that this was a clear threat and abuse of the DMCA system. I'll talk to legal counsel and make plans. And it comes back to Tracy.
Yes, I think it will be best if you talk to an attorney. The attorney can also explain to you that most of the things you mentioned in this and the previous email are legally irrelevant or make no sense. Kind regards, Tracy Brown. You mean the explanation of what fair use is?
Yep.
Okay, sure. That's irrelevant. We're talking about fair use and the Digital Media Millennia Act. But it's irrelevant. It's irrelevant. Not a big deal. I don't know. I don't know why you're bringing it up, man. It has nothing to do with the fact that we're trying to claim your digital media.
Yep. In the following email, I attempted to make sense of who exactly the client is and further call into question their motives. What makes no sense is a third party in Germany representing either Netflix or Kyoto Animation, either in Japan or America. When I'm in America, what makes no sense is when you have someone willing to work with you to settle an issue when I know full well this is a copyright Ponzi scheme.
I think you mean
and
Ponzi.
You refuse.
I think you mean Ponzi scheme.
I clarify that later. Scheme, and you refuse. The fact you refuse reinforces that fact you didn't respond the first time, and the strike expired because you exhausted your legal window. That reinforces the fact I won't see any legal documentations. I am still at work during this time, hence why I misspelled Ponzi scheme. And while I acknowledge that I should have likely waited until I returned home to address this, I was concerned I would not have another chance and wanted to act while I still had their attention. This company is known for unresponsive emails.
Well, I mean, I understand why you said Ponzi scheme. You're talking about stuff from Japan. You just wanted to make them feel like, they knew what they were talking about. And,
well, yeah.
I mean, the Ponzi scheme is the less well-known version, or the Ponzu scheme is the less well-known version of the Ponzi scheme, and it just involves, the autistic brother.
Anyways, Tracy responds back, and you just read it carefully. Try not to laugh.
I don't even know what a copyright Ponzu scheme is, but I am sure you got your story figured out for your attorney. Neither are there just two companies involved in owning rights on this anime series, nor is your upload only available within the US. As I said, I think it will be the best to talk to your attorney. You seem to see some larger conspiracy here. Next, you will tell us that we operate from a pizza store. Are you dealing with Freddy's? Like, is this a Fazbear thing? Look, I know we're doing the Silver Eyes stuff, but you don't have to bring all of this in. This is not like meta story. The attorney will help you understand the legal situation. Yeah, there's more. Of course, there are other things involved, but not companies involved. It's two companies, the owners of the copyright of its distribution in the Japan in Western territories and Eastern territories.
Yes, and that's the thing. And we'll all come down to one final curriculum. Now, it goes down for licensing and stuff like that, but it's not really the license holders that I will be going against. So really, it won't even be Netflix if it was. It would be Kyoto Animations. Yeah. They are the ones that hold the copyright. They give out the licenses for streaming sites like Netflix and stuff like that to be able to use their content legally.
Guys, I know it was a Pizzagate reference. I'm not that behind on the times. I was making a joke for the fact that I've been dealing with Five Nights at Freddy's stuff recently.
Yeah. Anyways, they again dodged the question, supposedly speaking for the rights holders without making sure the rights holders know it was fair use. They take an unprofessional jab at me over the misspelling and made a reference to a French internet conspiracy theory known as Pizzagate. With the next statement, next you will tell us we operate from a pizza store. It is interesting that they make petty accusations against me when the listed address, Autobahn Street 288200 in Unschenberg, Germany, ties to a drama school named Munich Film Academy, not Camisos, or Graveyard, depending on how you search online. See the Google Earth link.
So,
I tried one last
time
to find out who does.
So they're either at a drama school, or they're dead.
Yeah. Because I looked it up, it pointed to the drama school. Rogue looked it up, it pointed to the tomb in the middle of the fucking graveyard.
Wow.
Yeah. So, I tried one last time to find out who the supposed clients are below. Sorry about the spelling errors. I am on my phone and was at work. Ponzi scheme is what I meant, but I don't even think I would call it that. So, if neither of those companies that own and hold the license is them, then who is? Does it happen to be someone on this list? If not, this is fraudulent. If so, then who? Attached to the email was the same list I gave at the beginning of this email, listing off the studios, writers, and license holders of Violet Evergarden. After sending this last message, I received an error message stating, "Message blocked. Your message to tracy@camisos.org has been blocked. See technical details for more information."
I mean,
I now have no way of contacting them. And after 6 hours of this, I received my second DMCA strike from Camisos, GmbH. Email tracy@camisos.org, which I messed that one up. It should have been Tracy-B, because it's all the same emails. On Godzilla Singular Point, episode 11. A show that has been up for 3+ months, longer than before the first strike. After the previous message, it seems far more as if they are following through on the threats, rather than make a DMCA claim in good faith. I had no other options, and I did not know what to do. I did not want to risk my channel, so I privated all 90+ episodes of Anime Watch Club and held out on filing a counter-strike for Godzilla Singular Point episode 11 to see if any legal notices would come. But as of 10/1/2001, none have, and my second strike was given on 9/28/21. Under the assumption I was safe and gave myself time to think and get more info and counseling, on 10/1/2001 at 3:10 a.m., I received my third strike on copyright strike by Camisos GmbH on Violet Evergarden episode 3 Anime Watch Club. This was a live stream about the copyright situation, generally discussing my perspective about the situation with a few friends. Information about Camisos GmbH and other activities was also enough during this live stream. It seems rather convenient that it was the live stream Camisos chose to strike, almost as if they are abusing the DMCA system to retaliate against me and my channel. There was no copyrighted content that did not count well under fair use in this live stream.
especially if it's just you and Rogue and Tyro talking.
For reference, I did showcase the show, but I didn't play it. I brought up the screen and showed on the screen what I did to transform it, why I thought I was transformative, why I thought it was fair use, my methods of doing this. That was it. It was 8 minutes long. At this point, my channel, Sparky's Tech Corner on YouTube, has been terminated unfairly with no legal notice or no way to fight this fraudulent attack. I am asking you to please look into this and to take strikes off my channel. I am blocked by both Tracy@camisos.org and Tracy-B@camisos.org, so I cannot talk to them. I have spent 4.5 years building this channel and finally gained over 500+ subs, a labor of love. I implore you not to let it be lost to a company which exists to bully small content creators by weaponizing the DMCA system against them. I have the emails listed and screen capped for reference. Thanks, at Sparky's Tech Corner.
Yeah, this is legit a bullshit claim.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Well, and the thing is Camisos, and this is why I think it's why I'm having such a hard issue with this, because for reference, I have reached out to Cjo and Susie Lou, and before at Team YouTube on Twitter gave me the information was forwarded to me about their online email services for copyright claims, because with a fraud claim, you lose access to your channel. You can't. It's like your channel's gone and it never existed when you get that claim. It's technically still there, but you just can't access it. So there's no way for you to file for that claim.
Well, that and you're also blocked.
Yeah. So I think that's the reason why Camisos hit that live stream. It's because third strike, he can't do anything about it, which I don't think they know. You can actually send an email in to see, it's copyright at youtube.com. And this entire thing was sent to YouTube with this.
Well, I know that YouTube support actually responded to you on Twitter, which I was shocked. Like, you got someone to respond, but it wasn't a positive one. Right?
Yeah. Well, it's like, I don't see anything about that as positive, because, I mean, they make clear legal threats, that they make clear that they're going to utilize the DMCA system against me. And it's like, whether or not, if I'm willing to go to court, and I'm willing to go to court to state this, defend myself, anything on the ladder, because I do think I've got a good case. Now, whether a court of law would see it, I don't know. But I'm willing to do it. But for the fact that the site says no lawsuits against the users, and they blocked me, so I have no way of contacting them, I really doubt I'm going to get a lawsuit. And the problem is if that's the case, YouTube is disregarding the DMCA provisions, the safe harbor provisions.
Right.
Because I'm now clearly stated and shown them everything that's happened, because YouTube doesn't know about this conversation. YouTube doesn't know anything that happened. And YouTube is willing to sue people for abusing the DMCA because
as we saw, as we're seeing with the Brendan
the
Christopher, Christopher thing.
Yeah. And it's the case that, and they even state down in there, the strike ability in getting information from the counter notice is meant to be used for legal purposes of copyright only. As we found out with Aquila Hughes and Sargon Accord, only copyright matters. Perjury does not even come to play here.
Yeah. Well, because it doesn't. And perjury is still something that happens in court, not through emails and shit like that.
Yes. And Susie Liu had to deal with something like this on her channel.
Yeah, because she got struck by a troll that struck 20 of her videos.
Yeah, and it got bizarre. Yeah, her channel was terminated, and same thing as with me. And she had the ability to be able to go through and prove that this wasn't true, because I don't know how the internal systems of the DMCA striking ability in YouTube work, but I would think it would work kind of the same way as like channel recommendations, or how you're represented on YouTube. If they give you a window of, hey, it's easily findable, or it's relative content, or anything like that. I think they do the same thing with the DMCAs, because with those, they had no previous strikes that they made. So it's easy for YouTube to go, oh, well, this is like the first 20 strikes that they ever made. It's gotta be fake. The problem is Camisos has made it, they only strike small channels, and they're successful at it. So when the strikes go through, some of the small channels with some of the rhetoric you see here, a lot of people don't fight back.
Yeah, because they can't. They can't. Like, they don't feel like they can. YouTube has made it to a point where if you don't have upwards of 10,000 subscribers, 10,000 subscribers or more, for a fact that YouTube will not pay attention to you. Which is why I was shocked that you actually got YouTube to respond to you on Twitter. Like, YouTube doesn't...
I had to have help. And that's the reason why I was trying to make this as known as possible. But it comes down to what I was assuming is, like I said, they've taken... I've lost count around 300 on Twitter. Look it up, Camisos, and I think I spent about a day and a half searching. But there's about 300 plus small channels that have been wiped out. More than that, just fighting like one or two strikes on their channel by this company. And I think what it is since they've had so much success, they levy on the ability of, oh, well, we must be right because we've taken down this many channels.
Yeah, but success in what? Like, okay, you reached 500 subscribers. That's awesome. Right? You told me yourself you had some videos that had like over 10,000 views because of what it was, and things like that. Sadly, it didn't transfer into subscribers, but that's kind of how YouTube works. So you're not making money for YouTube off of these views.
No.
So what winning in what? Like, why I don't fight DMCA claims on some music? I'm like, fine, you want the 5 cents I get from the views? Go for it. Like, it's what are they winning?
What I mean is by success, and nobody's fought the claims. So they've got a track record of multiple strikes that they filed. None of them's been counter notified, or it's resulted in channel terminations with no pushback against them. And what I think is that carries over the same aspects with the DMCA. YouTube looks at that, oh well, they've got 10,000 plus DMCA strikes on channels, and they've not been contested. It must be legit.
So you think they have people paying them for this stuff?
I don't know if it's that, or if it's just a scheme. It's really hard to look at finding any internal information for this company. I'm just saying, I think that's what YouTube is looking at when they see this company file a strike. Because my second strike, YouTube refused to do anything about it. And I think it's because of that reason. I think if it was one of those companies that they didn't have a good track record, or this was like the first strike, or every strike that they put out, got successfully defeated, I think it would have went differently. I think that's what YouTube is doing, and that's the automated system.
Because they have so many successful strikes that they automatically kind of believe.
That's why they go after smaller channels, and I think a lot of it has to do with. And I think the smallest channel I've seen them go after is like 20,000 subs. Oh, not the smallest, the biggest one is 20,000 subs. That channel got yeeted.
I was gonna say that's kind of pushing it though, like 20,000 subs.
That channel got yeeted. Now here's the thing, and here's the MO I've seen. They'll strike one video and that's it. And I think what it is when they strike the video, well, it's like with copyright ID, they get all the revenue off of it. Now all that revenue gets sent to them. And I think that's the reason why they do stuff like this. So, and whenever you push back, they try to go for channel kills then.
Well, yeah, because they can't have a track record. They can't have and the 3 emails thing is really weird. Like any legit company, yes, they have multiple emails for different different positions. HR has a specific email, the CEO has a specific email, employees have specific emails. But to have 3 separate emails for the same person is a little odd.
Well, and what's a little odd is if you look up on Facebook, you look up on Twitter, Instagram, any of these sites dealing with this company, every single person, every single channel, every single event, they talked to Tracy Brown.
So it's just the same person.
Yes.
Well, Ray says several sources say this company has 1 employee, which is Tracy Brown is probably not their name.
And what me and Rogue has to tell me is we think Tracy Brown is an alias.
Well, yeah,
it's
a
non-existing person.
Yeah. Now,
unless Jan Wilkins as the legal consultant for it, but I can't find anything on her. And like I said, at the end of the day, it comes to it like this. I'm going to fight as hard as I can. I'm hoping I can get my channel back. I'm hoping because I don't think anyone's pushed this hard against them on YouTube. I have not seen a lot of people push even remotely hard against them on YouTube. That's the thing, and that's another thing that kind of strikes a bell in my head. Is like, if this was a legitimate thing, if this was a legitimate company that did it, 1, they'd be bigger. 2, I think like Kyoto Animations and Bandai will put on the site. We are also represented by Comedios.gmbh as for a defender of our IPs and stuff like that. You would think you'd see that, or you think you'd see more of an uproar. Kind of like with the whole Susie Lou thing and the copyright thing. It's like you would think that their name would come into this a lot more.
Well,
and it's not.
You would think that, but yeah, because this is a company that's just going after small channels to try and get some form of revenue, I guess. I don't know what they're getting.
Is.
Yeah,
I don't. I don't know what the end game is. I just know this much. And I've been trying to warn as many of the commentary, anime commentary, and reactor channels that I watch as possible. Watch out for these guys and do not let them bully you. You know, I've been going through on comments, and I've actually got to go through and do this again because all my comments got deleted from my old channel. But
Yeah.
I've been trying to spread the word out there, and I'm making it a mission to shine a light on these guys. Well, if anything, I want to be the first one to be sued by it. I want that meme that Man Squatch made to be one lawsuit against Sparky's Tech Quarter. I want that, and I'm pushing for that. I doubt I'm gonna get it. Now, at the end of the day, I've already came to terms. I came to terms with it last night of all nights, but I've already came to terms. My channel's gone. I'm already moving forward from it, going, I'm probably not gonna get anything back. And the reason why I do that is the only thing I really lost were the live streams.
Right.
So I've lost 79 plus episodes of recaffeinated. Oh, not recap. Yeah, recaffeinated. All those episodes are gone. Any other live streams, like the live streams of my house, the live streams I had at Oakfest, the live streams of gameplay and stuff like that, all those, they're gone. But all of the videos are saved. So it's not that hard to start again. And the way I look at it is, it's probably a good thing that this happened because I do feel like Sparky's Tech Corner has stagnated. It was a channel starting out with one thing, and within the course of that channel's life, went through 4 or 5 different iterations.
Yeah.
Like just throwing spaghetti against the wall. Found something I like doing with friends. I found a lot of people that wanted to do it with me. It's like, hell, I have, KG, I have Tyro, I have Atheist Paladin, I have, Rogue, Pin. I have like 8 to 9 people right now that beg me, hey, can we do this episode? Hey, can we do that episode? And I have some people that watch it that liked the takes on it. They like the deep dives on the shows because it's not just, okay, it's a reactionary. Most channels go through and react to the show, maybe say a couple of things beforehand, say a couple of things afterwards, and that's it. And they'll use clip portions or the full episode, it depending on what the show is. I like Blind Waves at first because Blind Waves, they will talk, they use the same structured format as I do. They talk about the show beforehand, they talk about the last episode, they talk about expectations, they'll watch it, commentate over it, and afterwards give an in-depth analysis and review of it. And I love doing it. Now,
that's what you got to do. You got to do what you love to do. If you love it, other people will as well.
Yeah, and I'll end off with this, just kind of like a planned summary of everything. And then if you want, you can ask a question, and I think that's a question that Ishtar said that I'll get to in a minute. But at the end of the day, before I received the third strike, the plan was just to let the strikes lapse. I wasn't going to fight them anymore. I wasn't going to do anything. I was just going to let the strikes lapse if that's all that they were going to go after. Start up another channel, re-edit the videos in such a way that a lawyer in Nat's ass couldn't fucking say, yes, that goes against some sort of IP or copyright. And start off from scratch. Sucks, but you know what? I was willing to do it. With the channel being gone now, I've got to build back up from scratch now on everything, which, again, I don't care. It is what it is, but I'll go through it one day at a time. Does it suck? Yes. Oh, well. As far as what I think Tyro's brought this up, I think Ishtar brought this up, you can serve YouTube with a legal suit. And that is true. I can give YouTube a lawsuit, but at the end of the day, it's got to come down to what ends. Because the way YouTube's got their site set up, they could easily go, well, it's an autonomous service, we can terminate your account whenever we want. And because of the fact that he had 2 strikes, where are we wrong? And that's the thing that sucks about it. So no, I can't really, I could probably have a strong case against them with the third video, the live stream that got struck. But it's got to come back around and get kicked out of court because YouTube's following the safe harbor provisions.
Yeah.
I've got to go against the company that, I'm sorry, I don't know what headstone to send the lawsuit to.
I mean, you could do a blanket, just send all of them and like hit every single one that's in that cemetery.
And I could, but it's like legitimately talking to a lawyer about this, and the lawyer even said it is I have no legal standing here. The only way that I can move forward with this is if YouTube can see that this is clearly fraudulent, or get a hold of someone in YouTube to investigate Camisos and find out they can't do this.
Yeah.
Or wait for a lawsuit from these guys. That's basically the only two avenues I've got.
That lawsuit's never coming.
It's never coming.
Yeah.
And YouTube says that nope, that your copyright claim is invalid. My channel is technically then gone forever. And I've got a third possibility too, and that's even though the strikes get lifted, same thing happened the first time, they immediately strike it again.
It's possible.
Yeah, and they do that. It's like I've got no way to kind of notify them, because then it's like it'll be the same as the first one. They won't listen to anything I say to them. So
and then it becomes malicious.
Yes, it becomes malicious, but I have no way to fight it.
Yeah. Well,
but no.
I honestly hope that everything works its way out. I don't want to see that you've lost your channel forever. You put a lot of time into that. You found something that you like to do. You found something that makes you happy with your channel. I mean, I know you're not doing your stuff because you want to make money off of it or anything like that, but you're doing it because it's fun. Yeah. So even if this was,
that's what it is.
Even if this was like a YouTuber with 10 subscribers, I'd hate to see this happen to him. So,
yeah, and that's why that's why I'm trying to make it a point right now to spotlight these guys.
Well,
something has to be done about it, and with the fact that they hit small YouTubers, it's never gonna get anything past a blip in the road.
According to Ray, it's your YouTube channel is the only one of the common things that comes up with the company. So
yeah. Well,
apparently you're the only one who fights them.
About them.
Apparently you're the only one that's trying to fight them. So
yeah, well, you have to look for a lot of see. They just came back. It seems like they take a year to 2 year hiatus and then go after a couple different channels and then take another year or 2 year hiatus. It's like they bounce around and stuff like that, because all the stuff I've seen from other channels have been back like in 2018, 2019, 2016, and that's on Twitter. There's only 5 videos, not including the ones I had, but there's only 5 videos dealing with talking about Camisos. Besides that, there's nothing.
Well, I know I shared the stuff around with some people that I thought may be interested in it. I don't know if anything happened to it, but like I said, I hope things I hope things get better. Like I hope you get your channel back.
And like I said, that's why I've already came to terms with it right now. If I get it back, cool. I as soon as I get it back, I think one of the first things I'm gonna do is everything on the channel's got to get private. And I'll walk off of Sparky's Tech Corner 2.0 for a while. And the reason why I'm going to do that is so the previous strikes can cool down. And once they cool down, I'm going to light Camisos up on it.
It's probably the best thing to do.
Yeah.
But
I know you got to get going, but I know. Again, for everyone that you know who you are, I've got a lot of support for this. I got a lot of support from you, Matt.
Yeah.
Thanks, everyone. I think the support means more than anything to me than actually getting my channel back.
Well, you're not a bad dude, Sparky. You know that. It's something that definitely shouldn't have happened to you.
I'm an asshole, but that's about it.
But thank you for coming on, man. I will do what I can whenever you share something to spread it around, and we'll see if we can't get your stuff back.
Okay. And I'll go ahead and get going so you can wrap your show up. Thank you for letting me on and letting me have a platform to speak on. I appreciate it.
No problem. Talk to you later, man.
Yeah, bye.
Bye. Whew. I honestly hope Sparky gets his stuff back. And be on the lookout for these guys. Be careful. Back up things. Do it. If you know people who know people, send them Sparky's way. But we have gone a little longer than normally, so I ended the poll, and it does look like the next Cringe Book Club thing. It's a horrible segue. I understand, guys. Going from something as serious as Sparky to talking about bad fan fiction. Just gonna say the poll ended. Sonic High School will be the next one we read if and when that target goal gets hit. And well, like I said, if you guys know something about this and you can help Sparky out, anybody listening terrestrially later on, he's on Twitter. He's Sparky's Tech Corner 2.0 on YouTube. And I hope you guys all have a wonderful rest of your evening. For some of you, it's already early morning, but that's fine too. And I hope you guys have a good week. And we should see you on MSNBC. Have a good night, guys.
Boom.